right, I have got 5 o'clock. I'll call tonight's meeting to order, Tuesday, June 21st, 2022. Roll call, we have Selectman Mackenzie Jewett, Kevin Buck, and myself, Jamie Thurlow. Town Clerk Katie Dandran, and Town Manager Jesse Dunbar. Howdy has called in sick, let me know he is, and Eric is in Vermont, so that's where they are.
I make a motion to excuse Howdy Goodwin and Eric Eaton from tonight's meeting.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to excuse Howdy and Eric from tonight's meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, adoption of agenda. Is there anything anyone would like to change? Approval of minutes. We have the minutes from June 6, 2022.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of June 6, 2022.
Second, sorry.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from Monday, June 6, 2022. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, warrants. Do I have to list warrant 122 and 123 because they have nothing on, they're voided? Okay. I'm gonna leave those out of it because they were just voided.
Yep.
Did you send?
No, I've got to sign those, yep.
Yeah.
We have warrant 124 for $1,121, 125 for $9,439.37, 126 for $38,842.69, 127 for $17,339.21, 128 for $9,563.90, 129 for $67,042.10, and 130 for $58,242.95.
I make a motion to approve warrants 124 through 130.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve warrants 124 through 130. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Next, we have committee appointments. Try to keep track of what we have here.
Yeah.
All right. So, starting with the Harbor Committee, we have currently, well, there's 3 seats that would normally be up. Peter Gott and Art Payne have 2 at-large seats, and then the Riparian owner seat is for Mel Atherton, who Mel has decided that he is done serving for the committee. So I would like to thank Mel, and I think we should do something for him for serving all the years that he has for the Harbor Committee and all the committees.
Yeah, they're gonna do something with the Harbor Committee.
Okay. Yep. So Peter and Art have both said that they would like to seek reappointment, and there has been 2 applications, one from Ben Harper and as well as Esther Jacobs. Ben Harper is a riparian owner, so he could potentially fill.
Well, I make a motion to appoint Art Payne to an at-large seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Art Payne to an at-large seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? You're going to see that.
Jumping the gun.
Yep.
It's too nice. I make a motion to appoint Peter Gott to an at-large position on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Peter Gott to an at-large seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I make a motion to appoint Ben Harper to the riparian owner seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Ben Harper to the riparian owner seat on the Harbor Committee expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Now, let's go on to the Housing Authority. Okay, we have 3 tenant seats that are currently being held, and all three seek reappointment. Is that correct, Jesse? I just
Yeah.
wanted to be sure
Yep.
my notes
correct.
were correct here. The commissioner seat is currently held by Ben Harper, which he is willing to serve another term.
That's correct.
And that's all we have open, right? It's three, and we don't have any new applicants.
We don't have any new applicants.
Okay. Just trying to make sure I keep it straight, that's all.
I'll make a motion to appoint Ben Harper to a commissioner seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Ben Harper to a commissioner seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to appoint Lorraine Smart to a tenant seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Lorraine Smart to a tenant seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to appoint Brian Parker to a tenant seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Brian Parker to a tenant seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
I'll make a motion to appoint David Campbell to a tenant seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint David Campbell to a tenant seat on the Housing Authority with term expiring June 30th, 2027. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. There's that list. Now we have library trustees. And we have 3 expiring seats. Art Payne, Wesley Siddon, if I pronounced that correctly, and Rachel Ramos have expressed that they do want to get reappointed. And do we have any additional? I didn't see any. I want to be sure each time. That's all.
Make a motion to appoint Art Payne to the Library Board of Trustees with a term expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Art Payne to the Library Board of Trustees with term expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Make a motion to appoint Wesley Seiden to the Library Board of Trustees with the term expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Wesley Seiden to the Library Board of Trustees with term expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Make a motion to appoint Rachel Corman Ramos to the Library Board of Trustees with a term expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Rachel Corman Ramos to the Library Board of Trustees with term expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have the Planning Board. We have 1 seat is open on the committee, which is currently held by Beth Gott. She says she is willing to serve another term. We also have received another application from Jim Bradford. And I see Jim's here if he wants to speak.
Expect.
Oh, okay. You don't have, no, you don't have to if you don't want. I just if
Just
you
wanted to
have
say,
anything.
yes, I am
Okay.
still willing and interested. I wasn't aware that she wanted to continue, but
Okay.
I'm not surprised.
I'll make a motion to appoint Beth Gott to the seat on the Planning Board with term expiring June 30th, 2025.
Okay.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Beth Gott to a seat on the Planning Board with term expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion?
I'm concerned about conflict of interest where
Mm-hmm.
a company does so much with the dumpsters and construction. Biggest concern I've got, but if she can work past it.
Yeah, and
You guys have dealt with it so far, right?
Mark,
As you know, I've had that concern in the past too, but it seems to be working out pretty well. She had it with Acadia Wilderness, and there was one other small amendment to a subdivision where they had property, they were abutters, and I think we determined that she's not actually an abutter to, or Gott's Leasing isn't actually an abutter to the other campground Tony had there, and I think they've sold those lots anyway, so.
and what few meetings that, excuse me, that I were there for, she never had an issue with stepping down if she had to. Like,
Yeah,
she never, there was never an issue with that, but,
She
yeah.
shows up, she participates.
Yep.
She was helpful in developing the new standards for campgrounds, that sort of thing, so.
Okay.
Okay, well, if the conflicts work through, that's my biggest concern.
And I think she's very cautious of that, right? Like, I mean, she's very aware that she could get called out for a conflict.
I hope so.
Right, I mean, I think you guys are under a microscope a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit, so I
yeah.
think she's careful.
We always look for it, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is there any more discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Sustainability Committee. I believe I had that here. Marjorie Buck is the current seat and does not wish to be reappointed. David Edson has applied for the position, and that was the only one.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to appoint David Edson to the at-large seat on the Sustainability Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2025.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to appoint David Edson to the at-large seat on the Sustainability Committee with term expiring June 30th, 2025. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, is that it for committee appointments? Wade. All right, well, I guess Jesse, it's on to you for financial reports.
All right, financial reports as of May 31st, which is 92% of the way through the fiscal year. Revenues in May, we collected just over 49,000 in property taxes. Total collections for the year, it's 97% of budget, continuing to outpace all recent years. We also collected 50,000 in motor vehicle excise tax, resulting in total collections at 99.43% of what was budgeted. This is still behind pace from last year, but ahead of pace for all of the recent years. Another notable revenue I wanted to point out was under the new parking permit revenue line. You'll see in May we received $200 for the parking permit fees we established, and we've received probably three, I think, since then, 3 or 4 since then.
300 or 400 more?
So, yeah, because there's
$100,
Long
I
Island.
think.
It's good, we might get it
No,
regraded after all with that money, get it actually
So-
regraded.
Yeah, so income's starting to trickle in there. Otherwise, no major changes in revenues for May. Under expenses, the administration cost center is still running under budget at 81%. Some notable expenses in May included $1,009 in postage, $1,409 for town reports, $434 for election supplies, $3,400 in attorney's fees, just over $1,000 in advertising, and $485 in heating fuel. The Public Works Cost Center is also still under budget for this point in the fiscal year at 67%. And in May, some notable expenses included $869 for cleaning up the Public Works yard out around the building, disposing of old junk and equipment. $773 for heating fuel, $2,200 in repairs to Truck 9, including a new hydraulic tank, $460 in repair parts, and just over $1,100 in supplies. And then in the general ledger, we did receive an additional $22,540 in the revenue sharing from the state in the month of May, bringing total receipts for FY '22 to $124,584, or 144% of what was originally budgeted for FY '22. And otherwise, there's no significant changes to the general reserve accounts in May.
Make a motion to accept the July 2021 through May 2022 financial reports.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to accept the July 2021 through May 2022 financial reports. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Thanks, Jesse.
Yeah. All right, next we have a liquor license renewal from Hanson's Properties LLC. This is for just the dairy bar section, correct? Yep. I haven't heard of any issues at all, have you? Nothing
Nope.
come out of there?
Nobody's here, right?
No?
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the application of Hanson's Properties LLC, doing business as Seaside Dairy Bar located at 42 Tremont Road, for a state on-premise restaurant liquor license.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the application for Hanson's Properties LLC, doing business as Seaside Dairy Bar located at 42 Tremont Road, for a state on-premises restaurant liquor license. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Just one question, how long does that last? Is that license for yearly or?
1 year, yep. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have the town office paving proposal.
So as noted in the memo, last summer, we received a paving proposal from Dugas at the time. They were doing our paving on the summer road projects. So the former manager got them to estimate paving for in front of the salt sand shed on the lower drive here, as well as a little patch out here, triangle, that's still unpaved. And if you recall at the meeting, there was enough in the FY '22 budget to complete the paving in front of the salt sand shed, but not the
Yes.
lower driveway, which at the time was around 10,700. You did encumber leftover FY '21 funds to FY '22 to complete that paving of the lower entrance, and they have gotten me the updated estimate with the new cost calculated in, and it came in at $11,695, which isn't bad considering the cost of fuel and materials.
Do you know what the footage is on that? Like how many, I'm just curious, cause I just had some paving.
It's 350 square yards with 2 inches thick.
You don't know what the,
The length?
yeah, it's probably a 14-foot, I would
No,
think,
I
so.
don't. No, I don't.
You don't think it, I was gonna say. Cause I had, not that, I mean, I think there's probably prep for this too, not much.
Yeah, provide and install up to 3 inches of 2 inch line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great, compact.
Yep.
Go around.
Yeah, I just had some, priced, 14 feet at, 150 feet, and that was, right around 6, a little over 6. No, no prep though.
Yep.
So. And that was at 2.5 inches, so.
Sounds good to me, I guess.
Yeah.
I make a motion to waive the purchasing policy and award the town entrance paving project to KJ Dugas at the cost of $11,695.
Second?
It's It's moved and seconded, excuse me, to waive the purchasing policy and to award the town office entrance paving project to KJ Dugas at the cost of $11,695. Is there any discussion? I will say too that they did a phenomenal job on the rest of the roads that they did, so quality is worth a lot too.
Yeah.
That's good. All those in favor? Okay. The Public Works Garage Cold Storage Bid Award. We have one bid that's,
Yes, one bid came in
yes,
after, well, it did come in after the packets were done, but.
yeah. I glanced at the amount and that,
Wow.
yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, that's one that was laying, I didn't get a chance to look at
That's
it.
not really what we had in mind, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I know stuff is going up, but,
That was not the, bidder that I mentioned that was waiting for the steel price, so that's
Okay.
the second, bidder. So,
this is 24 by 40, no concrete floor, correct? This is just
Michelle,
shell.
wow.
$179,750.
I think you could, keep seeking bids.
Keep
Or
lifting profit.
maybe wait until some of the dust settles from the summer build. I think right
Yeah.
now everybody's extremely busy, and maybe come fall or early winter, maybe
yeah,
that'll change a little
I'll
bit.
just keep looking into it and
Okay.
let you know when I
Yep.
find something.
I make a motion to authorize the town manager to continue seeking bids for the Public Works Garage Cold Storage expansion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town manager to continue seeking bids for the Public Works Garage Cold Storage expansion. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, recycling. I will let you explain this, Jesse, if you don't mind. I know there's a lot of parts and pieces to this part. I would-
So we received a memo from, Lee Worcester at EMR with an update to the proposed contract that, you authorized, this winter. At the time, when EMR provided us the initial contract, Casella's recycling fee was $75 a ton at Old Town. By the time they took our first delivery of recyclables in March, the fee had risen to $150 a ton, so double what it was. Since that time, the cost of fuel has obviously been escalating. So the original proposal had a $510 trip charge for each trip to Casella, and apparently $80 of that was factored in as fuel cost. So due to the fluctuations and increases in the fuel charge, EMR is proposing to remove the $80 flat fee from the $510 and base it each month on a calculation from the EIA, the Department of Energy, for the month, multiplied by the gallons used, 30 gallons for the trip. So, for example, this past month would have been $186.78 would replace the $80 fuel calculation before. We do have, we budgeted $16,750 for FY '23 for recycling. We based that on a trip every month and a fairly high tonnage fee, because we weren't sure what would be recycled. So our first bill came in at $6.99 in tonnage fees, plus the monthly fee, plus the trip charge. But it was for 2 months. We didn't end up making a trip every month. It was 2 months. I just got the invoice, I think it was in the warrants you just signed, for the second, which went May 31st. And it was also, I think it was 603 instead of 699. So it's averaging about $600 for 2 months worth of recyclables, and 1 trip, for a 2-month span, so every other month, the trip charge, not in every month. Of course, I expect it would go up this summer, so we really don't know until we get more months worth of recycling. But right now, it looks like even with the increased cost, we should still be somewhat okay budget-wise.
And honestly, I'm surprised that's all they're charging for fuel, because one of those trucks, I know from having one, they'd be lucky if that covers a trip to Hamden and back, so. Yeah, I don't think I was gonna say, Gary, is there anything you'd like to say on that? Okay, yep,
I guess
Mark.
I was gonna say, it seems to be well used, I mean.
Yeah,
More often than not, when I go up with my recyclables, I end up taking them home because the bin is full.
yeah, yeah.
So I think it is being well used.
That, it's great, and I mean, there's nothing really that we can do. I mean, fuel prices have gone up, and I don't blame them for separating it out, as a transportation fee and then a fuel charge, because fuel, as we know, could be $1 more tomorrow than it is today, and it's hard to really pre-plan anything like that. Mark?
I actually had a brief discussion with Carrie about this the other day, but first of all, I think it's the only alternative we have at this point. I mean, opening it up down here again doesn't make sense unless we had like a center and somebody actually, manning it or the whole thing. But I do have some concerns. One concern is anybody can throw stuff in there. So we're essentially paying, and I'm sure they are. Southwest doesn't have a bin, right? I don't think they do. Yeah, so people from Southwest are throwing things in, and we're paying for it to be transported. I don't know what we can do about that. That's one concern. Like Carrie said, oftentimes I'll go over there, the bins are full, you can't get anything in there. So I wish they were on top of that a little better. And the third thing is there any way we can get something, a sign up there by the bin saying what is acceptable to recycle? Because I've seen things thrown in there, like a bag of styrofoam peanuts in a plastic bag and things like that.
I know we've talked to Lee about the signage, and they've changed it twice, I believe.
Well, the other day, I didn't see anything other than Tremont recycling.
I can check, have you noticed recently?
There is a sign there.
Yeah, pretty sure it'll last.
Saying what?
Plastic containers, cardboard, paper, mail, what you can put in the bin.
Yeah. It's on the left side of the opening.
It's where, Larry?
On the left side of the opening.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of blends in, so you have to.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. There's trash on one side and recycling on the other.
Yeah,
And then on the post in the middle, there's
Yeah.
a sign.
okay.
It's not like super detailed, but at least it gives you
Yeah,
an idea,
I've seen wire and everything in there. So
yeah, they would just throw, that was the problem out here, they became trash bins.
Yeah.
Is EMR getting, charged for sorting it or keeping track of it, or?
I
No.
don't think so.
There's no sorting, so they're allowed, a certain amount of, contamination before Casella
Right.
starts.
But they're getting paid for taking a little, container out and putting it in the bin.
Yeah, that roll off,
Yep.
Yeah, that's in the
Yep.
back,
yeah.
right.
I have talked to Lee before about the concerns of other towns utilizing it, since we're the only one there. And he said that they monitor best they can, and he
Yeah.
doesn't foresee that that's widely being violated.
We're staying under our, we're staying under our own estimate so far, so,
Right,
Yeah.
just for the town, so far it's not a problem.
right.
Any
I
only
just
other?
throw my trash in Southwest bins.
That's
and
what I was
offset.
thinking. That's what I was thinking, Mark, but I wasn't gonna say that.
The only other options would be to bring containers back here, you know, bring a container if it's a single,
Oh, don't
which,
do that.
yeah,
no,
no
that's a
one,
nightmare.
yeah, no one really wants to do that, so it's gonna be hard to do any, you know, anything besides what we have.
Yeah.
And from what I heard about the Hamden location, that's not going anywhere anytime soon, is it? I don't think.
Sort of, it's supposed to, the sale is supposed to close this month, and
Yes.
with MRC being the
Okay.
owner.
Yeah, I heard there were some issues with the vendors and stuff there.
Yeah, I
but
heard
read an
that
article
too,
about it.
and, I just got back from Vermont myself.
Oh, okay,
This
yeah.
weekend with my son's family, but, I did get a call from Mike Carroll, the head of the MRC, saying that what Lincoln had conveyed to me wasn't exactly right, and he wanted to have a conversation with me about it, but I called him back and I haven't reached him yet. So
Mhm.
there's something going on that can't explain to you because I don't understand it.
Okay, yep, okay, thanks.
But if I got the information right, the deadline is the end of the month, right?
Right, yeah, June 30th.
And then, once they purchase it, they're still looking for someone to operate it, correct?
Yeah, I believe that's,
Yeah, okay, so it's still gonna be a while even.
it's definitely gonna be a while. It's
Yeah.
gonna be, you know, once they purchase it, then they have to, you know, they have to hire employees, they have to, you know, figure out who's in charge of operating the plant, they have to make sure all the equipment works.
Mhm.
Is MRC planning on actively managing it with
Yes.
Oh, okay, I thought they
Yeah.
were looking for another company to actually run it.
Well, it
That-
may
that
be
was-
some of both, but they,
Okay,
you know, I
okay.
mean, I do think, I'm kind of excited about the idea of the MRC really being directly involved, because then they have the control over what does and doesn't happen in the plant.
Okay,
And before, it was kind of complicated, because you had the MRC, the plant was using the Fiberite technology,
Yeah.
but they hired some outfit from Washington State to run the plant. And when MRC had concerns about something, it was like, well, who do you go to that has the authority to make decisions? And now they will have that authority, and I think that would be useful for them to be really in the driver's seat and really overseeing very specifically what's happening at the plant. So that's.
okay, well, good. Let's hope, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so I think this is stuff with this.
Yes, what we got?
I mean, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the updated recycling proposal from EMR Incorporated dated June 9th, 2022.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the updated recycling proposal from EMR Incorporated dated June 9th, 2022. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have snow truck, bid specs.
To talk about snow plowing on the first day of summer.
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Come on now, Jesse.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there was snow
All
in
right.
Maine a couple
Yeah,
days ago.
I know, right? Okay, fine.
I only put it on there because of the huge delay in getting a truck.
Fine,
I
fine.
need to go out to bid as soon as we possibly can.
Okay.
Do you know how you're gonna have to, see ya.
Bye, Mark.
Mark. We're gonna have to brace ourselves for the price of this, you know how much this is gonna cost and how long this is gonna take to get and,
Yeah, so,
Won't take longer than a fire truck.
yeah.
probably not. Well, I hope not. I
And,
understand one of the issues that'll potentially slow getting it is the single axle, cause it's, you know, it's easier to get it.
tandem, yeah.
So that'll add some time.
And why wouldn't they, just out of curiosity for that, and now that you mention it, I thought it before, but I didn't have a chance, Howdy would be the one to ask, you know, about why, but I know, like, with our tandems versus singles is just night and day difference. If you put a walk-in rear differential in there, which they, most of them have now, you just flick that, and the difference is just unbelievable, like, driving one of those. I would think it would be,
Mhm.
they feel safer on the road, but
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think, trying to think if any of the towns on the island have.
I don't think they
so.
do, I think they're all singles. Yep.
Yeah.
But the sander is far enough ahead, so that wouldn't really bother, but.
Mhm. Yeah.
And did this include a sander?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, so it's the whole replacement, which is why it's
Yep.
so many pages long
Yep.
of specifications.
I saw sander controls, I just didn't see.
Yep.
Yep.
So I've gone, I got the initial layout from another municipality here in Maine, and then Troy has gone over it and marked off, removed the things that he felt was not necessary, and added a few, requests that we'd like to see on it. Specifically, at the end, you'll see options priced separately, air and ground temperature display, and if they go, we put in the bid that we would like it to be, speed controlled sander, but a deduction for if it's manual, so we can see the difference.
Yep.
Cause we're manual now, but, if it's not too huge a difference, they'd obviously prefer the speed control to
Yep.
save on.
And that road temp has gotta be on there, I think that's the answer, I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, no, I just looking at that, Jesse, you don't have to include this in, but just ask someone, ask Troy or whoever,
Yeah.
why they don't use tandems, cause that's a 168-inch wheelbase, and that's what I have, one of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and not an issue with the tandem
Okay.
at all. So, the price will be probably at this point cheaper to have a tandem than a single, because you won't have to order it so
Yeah.
far out,
Yeah.
so.
Yes, potentially.
Yeah, I think that would be worth at least looking into,
Yeah.
spec it both ways.
Yeah, we can do that. The last time, obviously, costs have gone up, so I'm not sure where it will come in, but previously, not an official bid, but I know Chris had kind of asked somebody about what is this gonna cost a dealer, and at the time it was around 165, which was a year and a half, 2 years ago.
It won't be that now, I can tell you that.
So, we do have, as I said in the memo, there's 232 in the truck reserve.
Yeah.
As of July 1st, so we'll see where it comes in.
218 for a tandem, 170-inch international, that's, is what that's what I was quoted.
Yeah,
So that's with nothing on back.
nothing on it.
That's with no dump body, that's with no plow, that's with no, nothing.
That's unreal.
Yeah, no, I would, she's gonna be well over 200, I have a feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is timing, and that's the only reason why the tandem isn't really a sold thing, but
yeah,
if someone, if they have a reason why you could use it, you might be able to get one in half the time.
right, yeah.
And who do you send these out to? Just the usual Freightliner and,
Yeah,
Yep.
International.
Yep.
O'Connor,
Mhm.
Caldwell's.
Yep.
Yep. 5 or 6 places in some of them.
and I've had real good luck with Bangor Truck and Trailer. I don't know if they do Volvo, Max, and whatever else that.
I think they're, yep.
Okay. Look good to you guys?
Sure.
Mackenzie said she had.
You've been quiet,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is a good truck, guys. Yeah, no, it's fine with me.
I make a motion to authorize the town manager to solicit bids, I guess, as specified for plow truck and wing with the addition of what the dual axle option would cost.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town manager to solicit bids as specified for a plow truck with wing and plow, with the possibility of adding a tandem axle in there. Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right. That, now we have, salary ranges. Okay, the only thing that we had left on this, if I'm not mistaken, is the, election clerks you were gonna look into for us.
Yes, so that's on there.
Okay,
We did the Public Works update, because we did have hired, a new Public Works employee, so that's under Public Works driver number 2 on the list. And there was a change to the Public Works foreman's hourly wage, as we had previously talked about. And the election clerks, at your last meeting, you asked me to see what other towns were paying. The majority on the island and just off the island was 15. Southwest and Tremont were the same, both 12.75. And outer island was 18, I think. So I've gone ahead and put in the 15, if you want to increase it to that. And I've also adjusted the town meeting moderator rate, because that was based off a 12-hour shift for election town meeting.
yeah, I think we should be paying them at least the 15, I think
Yeah.
that's a little more tolerable, but, I mean, it's a lot of headaches, and it's only for one day, and then, right, or is it 2?
It depends if it's
Yeah.
town meeting, then it's 2.
Yep, it's just, it's,
It's hard to get people to fill those spots.
I know,
Yeah.
and that's what,
It's,
I haven't had anybody complain most so far.
and you're lucky because I think some people like to volunteer at
Yes,
elections. They're
yeah.
not really doing it for the paycheck. They
Yeah.
like to be part of the process or part of
Mhm.
the,
Yeah.
so, but I
Yeah.
still think it's, we should.
I think that ought to be the bottom for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if we did this for now, we can always change it at a later date if it's ever an issue, but I agree, I think a lot of people just like to volunteer, but I just think it's good that we show our appreciation and that they, $12.50, I didn't know, that caught me by surprise when we saw that.
Yeah.
This you might also get younger people to come volunteer, like, out of high school or like college kids or something like that. They might, maybe not. I'll make a motion to adopt and sign the order setting salary ranges for municipal employees and officials.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt and sign the order setting salary ranges for municipal employees and officials. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. Next, we have the fire truck refund. I'll let you explain the beginning of that, Jesse, if you would.
Okay, so the 2020 fire truck that was ordered back in 2019 finally arrived here in Tremont at the end of April. Throughout its 1,156 day production, the company that we ordered it from had
Yeah, who's paying attention?
had twice given us said they would give us a $7,500 check as compensation for the late delivery of the truck. So there was supposed to be a $7,500 check a while back, and then this past winter they said they would give us a second $7,500 check because it was still delayed. We did receive the second of the 2 checks after the fire truck's arrival. We did get that in the mail. I had a conversation with the auditor as to what the appropriate use was for those refund checks, and where they were taxpayer approved funding to purchase the truck and coming back. She said it would be up to the select board to authorize either applying it towards the debt service that's still outstanding on the fire truck, or to receive it as additional revenue, for the town, since it should go back to, the taxpayers. So you will need to decide, how you wish to proceed with the check that we do have, currently.
How long,
Where-
sorry,
Sorry, go ahead. Where is the first check?
how was this?
Yeah,
The
okay, the
first-
same thing, yeah.
the
There's two
first-
checks here.
Yes, the first check, I have been advised by the fire chief that it was used as, a credit on maintenance to one of their older engines at the facility. It gets maintained at the facility this one was purchased from. So it was used as maintenance on the older engine at some point in the
Not the
last-
new truck, this,
No.
they used it for a different truck.
Correct.
Okay.
And that, my opinion, that can't happen because you taxpayers voted to spend X amount on a new truck. We cannot use that money for something totally different.
That is.
I know it's not well, I shouldn't say totally different, I should say.
It is different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
different.
Yeah,
I
no, it's
agree.
two different things.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So I have reached out, I've looked through all the records, since it was prior to my arrival as manager. And I have had a conversation with the prior manager, and he was not aware that that had taken place. It was with the understanding that both were coming to the town treatment.
My opinion, it should be used to pay down the note.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I mean-
for sure.
yeah.
So, I mean, I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
that's,
No, that's what
Yeah.
everyone voted to,
Yeah. Yeah.
approve that money for that fire truck, then we should pay it down.
we've been paying interest on that note for 1,100 and whatever days.
Yeah.
And not seeing a truck. I think that should be used to offset that. How long was the note on that? It was 7 years?
It's got, I just signed it, 2 more years after.
So it's
this
5 then, yeah. So that'll put a pretty significant dent in the principal on that at this
one. Yeah,
point.
the yearly, expense is 56,000.
Okay, and that'll come right up then.
So how will that work as far as the fire department getting us back or not getting us, but they need to get the 7,500 from the first check, and spend that, or put it towards.
Both of those amounts should be
Yeah,
put on
they
the
need to be
principal.
put, not just one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
not just
exactly.
one,
Yeah,
yes.
but I'm just saying, how will that take place, I guess?
We'll need to request a check from the fire department.
Okay.
Fiscal year 23 checks haven't gone out either, have they?
Correct.
Can we hold back $7,500 from their budget request that they get coming up in July? Is that,
I'll have to check with the auditor, where the town approved spending that amount.
Spending
Let's
up.
say up to.
Spending up to, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, so I'll just confirm with the auditor that whether or not it's an issue, but.
I also think that we need to, usually Keith is here, but maybe invite Keith and other members of the fire department and sort of, I think we need to get a grasp on what's happening with money.
Mhm. I think we do, I think for sure, I think that's been a topic over the last 5 years, trying to get, stuff cleared up a little bit, and I know, I have questions like we have allotted money for them to find a bookkeeper, or I can't remember exactly how it was phrased, but someone to take care of their finances for them, to make things run smoother.
For
To
2 years.
for
we've
2
done that,
years, for
at least.
like
Yeah.
in the tune of 20,000 maybe per year, and I don't think it's happened, so, I think that we need to, I don't know how we're gonna approach this, but I think it needs to be approached.
But do you think that we invite the chief and the treasurer to a
Probably.
meeting
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
and sort of go from there, maybe, I don't know. But I think definitely we need to have a conversation about getting that first check
Mhm.
back,
Mhm.
however it comes back here.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, taxpayers voted for a specific reason, and it was
Yeah.
that truck, not a different truck or.
Well, again, they've budgeted out of the other funds, we've.
Yeah, for truck maintenance.
Yeah, for
and-
truck
yeah.
maintenance, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
So
So-
do you want the motion for the second check tonight?
Yeah.
But can we make a motion on both, or just one, or how do you wanna do
I'd
this?
do them as separate motions.
Okay.
I make a motion to authorize the town manager to use the refund check from Greenwood to pay $7,500 towards the outstanding principal on the fire truck debt service loan.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize the town manager to use the refund check from Greenwood to pay $7,500 towards the outstanding principal on the fire truck debt service loan. Is there any discussion?
I just have one question. You
Yes.
actually have a check. Okay.
All those in favor? The next one would be like, authorize you to contact the fire department in seek of a $7,500 check for,
Reimbursement.
okay, for reimbursement. That sound good?
Yeah, I make a motion to authorize the town manager to contact the fire department and regarding the original $7,500 refund check from Greenwood. And to use that when received towards outstanding principal on the fire truck debt service loan.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded as stated by Kevin. I'm gonna say that one. That was,
I don't know if I could
yeah,
repeat it.
yeah, I know.
It was a work in
Alright.
progress.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, now we have the town manager's report.
Alright, major emphasis in the last 2 weeks has been conducting interviews, for the public works position and hiring, Mike Rockingham for the position. He's gonna be a full-time, employee, he'll have, reduced hours in the summer months, and then full 40-plus hours, during the rest of the year. He is starting July 11th, once he's finished his notice of his current employer. Minor projects of interest, I had a meeting with the First National Bank, to go over a proposal, from them. They are seeking our business, so, once I have their official proposal, I'll probably bring that to you on an upcoming agenda for your consideration. I had my quarterly check-in with Eric. I accepted the state salt bid, emailed Colin regarding the boat race approval, emailed the engineer regarding Dix Point Road, and that has gone out to bid. Collected information on the election worker pay island-wide, signed the stream crossing grant paperwork. I attended an informational offshore wind meeting with the Governor's Energy Office and members of the Sustainability Committee. Helped set up for the election, prepared the financial reports, meeting prep. I attended a FEMA BRIC, Direct Technical Assistance Grant Zoom meeting. I applied, to FEMA for Direct Technical Assistance Grant, back this winter, and we were informed that Tremont was one of 20 towns across the country that were awarded the grant. There was over 100 applicants. It's basically providing, it's a non-monetary grant. FEMA will provide, technical assistance for us, in climate change and sustainability related projects, essentially helping us write grant applications and seek grants that match what the town is looking to accomplish as it relates to sustainability and climate change. I had, some initial communications with the auditor regarding the upcoming FY22 audit, and I had a meeting with, a resident regarding the status of Leffingwell Road as a town road. Office staff, the clerk, was busy with the FY22 liens for property taxes. BNB reports, election prep, election and election follow-up. Public Works, replaced the walk, push button on the crosswalk at the school, finally, we got the part in for that. Cleaning and maintenance on the case, repair on the Bobcat, trimming and mowing town office and cemeteries, maintenance on truck 9, sanded and painted the winter rims for truck 9, repaired a washout on Turner Road, removed brush from the winter on Cape Road, conducted public works job interviews with me, checked roads, garbage removal at Back Beach and Seal Cove, helped set up the tent for voting for election day, and moved over some election supplies. And they got a new pressure washer, needle gun for the pressure washer. I've asked them to start working on sanding down truck 2, the body and the headgear, and repainting that for the upcoming winter. Harbor Master was busy with mooring meetings with mooring holders, new applications, assisted with a missing persons call, conducted an underdock inspection, added chafing gear to the hoist, spoke with the company about service, a service boat dockage, installed transient float signs on the floats, picked up anchors donated for the wake buoys, cut a mooring ball free from the ferry boat pen, towed in a boat that had a dead battery. That would fall in about the upcoming boat races, prepped the wake buoys for launch, assisted MCM with replacing the motor on the hoist, and ordered a new electric hoist motor as backup, and was in touch with AC Parsons about replacing a shrub that was damaged a couple months ago at the wharf. Over the next few weeks, I'm going to work on audit preparations, end of year preparations, committing FY23's taxes, and the new hire orientation for Public Works as well.
Okay, thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, I got a couple questions I just thought of. What's the status of the Fishway project? Is that?
Fishway project is gearing up for July 9th, I wanna say, she told me.
So it looks like it should start. They've said they can make it and all that.
Yep, she was getting
Okay.
one final permit from the code officer here
Okay.
for town permits, and the DEP, all those permits have been approved by the DEP to expand to the 2 site
Okay.
location. So, should be beginning in July.
And the other thing is, do we still have the speed radar up? People are flying lately.
Yeah.
It is not currently up, but I'll
Okay.
have-
I mean,
Yeah,
I
specific
can't believe how
section.
fast people are driving in places
Yeah,
this
where you
summer.
want it first.
Down by
In front of my house, but.
Yeah. Between Ray's and Mel Atherton's.
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say
by
Harbor,
Mel
Harbor
Atherton's,
Drive
they
probably
just-
is the worst
For
one I've
some
seen.
reason, they
Yeah.
get a
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
stretch and they just right
Yeah, but I mean, it's
down.
as bad as I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've noticed it in that area,
Yeah.
like that section all the way to, like Brian Gordy's is down
Yeah,
there
yeah,
on Layton.
Yeah.
Like that's where they slow down a hair,
Yeah.
but, before that is just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Usually we get calls, but I haven't had.
yeah.
No, I haven't been out driving around that much lately, but it's, every time I do, I can't believe, someone almost rear ends me, they're coming up on me so fast.
I had 2 things for you too, Jesse. We never do on your manager's report. First thing I was gonna say, good job for a good hire. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we put it out, you found a very qualified individual. That was lucky and
Yep.
that's awesome. Second thing is, I'm just, once again, when I've signed these warrants, I'm adding up, just so people know what we're paying for attorney's fees.
Yeah.
Is this for a month, 2 months, or, I've got 13,000.
That's a month.
That's a month, okay. I just wanted to check. This was, we had 7, 5,300, and 450 with the three different ones, so,
$13,000 in 1 month.
Yep.
Holy cow.
I
yeah,
think
just
we ought
wanted
to
to,
consider some of the permitting fees on
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
these things. It's getting out of control.
Wow.
yep,
Yeah. That's,
All right.
That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
suggestions for next meeting. Date of the next meeting.
I make a motion to set the next meeting for July 18th, 2020 at 5 PM at the town office.
2022.
22. That's what he said.
2022.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to confirm the date of the next meeting for Monday, July 18th, 2022, 5 PM at the town office. You're giving us some breaks here, Jesse. That's why we
I
were
know.
crunching in March. but
That's
now
why I
you-
was looking at this,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All right, next we have an executive session entitled Town Manager Evaluation.
I'll make a motion to find that public discussion of these personnel matters could be reasonably expected to cause damage to the employee's reputation and/or to violate the employee's privacy rights, and therefore to go into executive session to discuss the employment, appointment, assignment, duties, promotion, demotion, compensation, evaluation, disciplining, resignation, and/or dismissal of an individual or group of public officials, appointees, employees, as permitted by 1 MRSA 405.6.8.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to
Nice job.
go into executive session titled Town Manager Evaluation as read by Mackenzie.
I would think we'd have that memorized.
Yeah.
You'd think we'd
But
know.
no, never do.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Good job in signing.
Yeah, just sign your name.
Here's your full report.
Good? We're rolling? Okay. All right, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Okay.